Hey guys, this is the KnucklesSuperFan here, and welcome to part 1 of Let's Play Pooh's Home Run Derby. Yes, the infamous Pooh's Home Run Derby. Now, the story behind this game, Christopher Robin, the Dark Lord, has used his satanic baseball powers to go and take over the 100 Acre Woods. He's enslaved the souls of all of its inhabitants, except for one, Pooh Bear. In order to defeat and undo the curse put on the 100 Acre Wood, Pooh must battle his friends in a game of baseball, and defeat each of them before finally being able to take on the Dark Lord himself, Christopher Robin. Now, the objective of each game is, as it sounds, to hit home runs. Now, when swinging, there are a couple of other things that could happen. You could get a strike, a foul ball, or you can just get a hit that doesn't go far enough to constitute as a home run. But those things aren't important. It doesn't matter if you get those or not. I swear, it doesn't matter, and it's really infuriating in later levels when you get it. The objective is just to get as many home runs as possible. In each stage, you're given a target, which is how many home runs you need to hit, and a number of pitches that the character will throw at you. And in each one, the target amount increases, and so does the amount of pitches thrown to you. You may be like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty easy if each thing's increasing. Well, no. It gets really difficult really fast. Between each stage, the percentage that you have to hit increases. So in the first stage, Eeyore, who's really easy by the way, you only have to get 3 out of 10. You have to get 3 out of 10 home runs, which is 30%. Here, you have to get 5 out of 15, which is 33%. Can't do math. And the next stage, you have to get 8 out of 20, so 40%. And it goes all the way up to where you have to get 80% of the pitches. And that's when it gets crazy. So anyways, I didn't get to talk much about him just because I was too busy telling you about the story of the game and how ridiculous it is, but Eeyore is actually really easy. If it's your first time playing and you're not familiar with like the mechanics and how to hit the ball, I can see you losing once or twice. I actually lost 3 times my first time playing, so don't feel bad. I mean, if you can't beat Eeyore eventually, then you should feel bad, because he really isn't that hard. He is not the hard part of the game, let me tell you. Until you get to the second row of characters, I wouldn't say that this game is difficult. And I mean, I say that as I'm getting foul balls left and right. I'm barely getting any home runs. But yeah, Eeyore is really easy, and like I said, you only have to get 3, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you. Lumpy, he's a little bit harder. He has a little wind-up thing that he does where he shakes his head back and forth and then throws the ball to you. He still isn't that bad either, and you should be able to defeat Lumpy pretty easily. Now you'll notice that between each, or that at the end of each round, I get a certain number of points. These are actually experience points that you can use to upgrade Pooh's stats and everything. Pooh's stats include power, contact, and speed. Power is more or less how it sounds. The higher your power is, the harder you'll be able to hit the ball. Now this actually has 2 purposes to it. The first one is if you can hit the ball farther, you'll be less likely to get a hit when you don't swing the bat as well, which is always good. So it means that you'll be getting more home runs. The second thing that it does, the number of points that you get at the end of each stage, like the experience points, it actually increases the farther you hit the ball. So for example, I hit it 150.8 meters right there. If I were to hit the ball like 170 meters, I would get more experience points. The second stat is contact. This one needs a little bit more explaining, and I don't know if it explains it to you in like the how to play part of the game, because there is that option, but I've never clicked on it. But basically, contact increases the sweet spot on your bat, so where you need to hit the ball to hit it the farthest and most effectively. Having it bigger is kind of the same thing as power, and by that I mean you'll be able to hit the ball more easily, and if you're hitting the ball more easily, you'll be getting more home runs. And if you can hit the ball more easily, you'll be more likely to hit the ball farther distances. Also to increase the amount of experience points that you get. And the final stat is speed, which honestly, this doesn't need to be increased that much. It only needs to be maybe like 10 or 12 to be truly effective. But I mean, if you're going to, you might have to grind the game to beat Christopher Robin in maybe some of the later stages. So you'll probably get speed up to 20 anyway. Having speed up to 20, it's not, like I said, it's not super important, but it isn't completely terrible either. It just basically means you can move Pooh around the plate faster. And I should probably talk about how to actually play the game. You guys might like to know that before this video is over. But you use the mouse to move Pooh around, and you left click to swing the bat. That's it. Really simple. And crap, I'm running out of time, but I do want to talk about the other characters. So Lumpy, like I said, he has a little wind-up. He still isn't too hard. Piglet is where it's like kind of harder. That's where it's like the next step up in difficulty. And that's because Piglet can throw some pretty wicked fastballs. I have no idea how he does it, but Piglet has an arm on him, and I think he's been taking some steroids. I'm not even joking. I actually had my friend Johan play this the other day, and Piglet infuriated the crap out of him. There was a lot of swearing and saying things about bacon-filled animals, but anyways, like I said, Piglet, he has his fastballs that might throw you up the first time, but you only have to get 8 out of 20. That's still not that bad. Kanga and Roo are also tricky as well, because as you can see, they don't actually pitch it to you properly. They just bounce the ball. They bounce it along the ground, and that's what makes it difficult and tricky. But even then, they're still not that bad, and you still have to get less than half. Just slightly less than half, 12 out of 25. And I was really happy with this recording right here, because I managed to actually beat all of these guys my first try. And that brings me to how I'm going to be doing these videos, in case you're wondering. I was originally going to show you my first try at each person, like regardless if I won or lost. And then I was going to show like a little failure montage, and then with me upgrading the stats in between so you saw my progress, and then I was going to show you me actually beating them. But I figured it would be better if I just showed you the times that I actually beat them. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the playthrough. Now, before I face them and like get the record, I will show you the upgrading the stats, and so you can see just how I did. And yeah, it really isn't too bad, to be honest. Like I said, I managed to get pretty lucky, and I did pretty well this playthrough, so I'm not complaining or anything. But yeah, with that, we went and managed to defeat Kanga and Roo. And we'll be moving on to the bottom row in the next part. And there we'll face off with really, 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 really difficult opponents. And it ticks me off. But anyways, that's neither here or there. I'm the KnucklesSuperFan. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in part 2. Hopefully. Anyways, have a nice night.